Good morning, friends, and welcome to another painting stream where I'm not going to do much painting. Hello, I'm Andrew, also known in the internet as Thanatos, and this is my stream where I get online and I paint stuff in the mornings. Good morning, Lobster. Interesting, the Twitch bot. Oh, there we are. Tanot bot caught up with you. It's just very slow today. Just like me, I'm very slow today. I don't know. I had the day off yesterday. I relaxed. I played video games. I slept a lot. And I'm still feeling very slow, logy, out of it, exhausted. Anyways, we've had Happy Friday. Welcome. Normally on this stream, Friday is Finishing Friday, when I take the figures that I've been working on this week and do little cool finishing details on them. This week is not going to be Finishing Friday because this diorama that I undertook is not complete yet. It is not at a stage where I have even put a primer on it, much less a base coat. So there's going to be a little bit of time before it's going to reach something approximating done. Maybe Finishing Friday next Friday. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, I want to say thank you to the many new followers that I've gotten while the stream was down. I suspect you're all bots, but if any of you are actual people, welcome to the stream. I am glad that people are enjoying it. Maybe picking up some words of wisdom, or maybe just having fun watching me struggle with modeling and painting and stuff. Certainly, I'm learning some lessons, which is nice. Very much this whole stream is about trying to teach myself new techniques, test my limits, do new things with painting and modeling. And this particular project that I have undertaken has been a massive undertaking. Let's go to Zoom Cam so that we can see where we're at with this project. So the initial thought when I started this was I had this cool Gotrek Gurnisson figure, which is a cool Warhammer 40k dwarf. And I was like, I want to paint this, but not in a typical manner. One of the things that has been on my sort of to-do list for painting has been to try and learn how to do statues as if they were corroded. And I was like, this looks like a very heroic pose. Let's make it into a statue. And if we're going to make it into a statue, we should build a scene around it. So that's what I've done. I have constructed out of a to-go container and a Dixie cup and a whole lot of green stuff and a few little foam blocks. I've constructed this fountain. It's not done yet. That's what we're going to be working on today. Last stream, I skinned the inside of the fountain here and did this texturing, made the little bricks there. I think it came out okay. It's passable. This stream, we're going to skin, we're going to skin the outside. And we're going to carve some bricks into the foam here and get that much closer to done. So that's one of the things I want to do today. The other thing I want to do today is finish the base coats on these minis. Now, normally when I'm doing a base coat, I'm doing some sort of color blocking, I'm planning out contrasts, I'm thinking about color schemes. With these, I'm not being that precise. And I'll admit, it's because I'm going for a certain look. I'm trying to make this look like a statue. So it's not going to have a lot of cool, intricate detail. It's mostly going to be, just washes and dry brushing to make it look interesting. But as a result, it's very dull right now. And that made me feel kind of sad. So we might do some other details to try and make it look more interesting. I also have these gargoyles. I did their fronts. We're going to do their backs today. And this little worm, I did one side of him. I have to do his other side there. And then we're going to start doing some finer detail stuff on that guy. He's going to be the most challenging painting job in this particular project. So we'll get to that in a little bit. First, though, a little more coffee and a lot more green stuff. And let's get started. Oh my goodness. I don't know why I'm so incredibly tired. Part of it is that I know I have vacation coming up. I am going to be on vacation this weekend. I have to get through today at work and tomorrow at work. And after that, I'm on vacation. And the prospect of vacation being that close, it's so tantalizing. And it's somewhat impacted my motivation, I will say. I think there's also the ongoing, never-ending stress of the pandemic. I don't know if I mentioned it on stream. I think I did, that my one of my little sisters tested positive for COVID. She's fully vaccinated, so she's fine. She's actually mostly recovered now. But that's still kind of terrifying, especially with the sense I have that a lot of people feel like COVID is over now because, vaccines are out there and folks are beginning to feel complacent. And it really drove it home to me, at least, that this is not over. It's an ongoing thing. And that's been very, stressful. And just general exhaustion. Anyways, I get a vacation next week. So take a week to relax, de-stress, unwind, play some video games, paint some minis, and we'll see how the week goes. All right. So I need to do something along the top edge of this. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I suspect I'm not going to do green stuff. So one of the things, and I appreciate this, that I have picked up from this process is that green stuff is not fantastic as a large-scale sculpting tool. I don't think I will ever attempt a project on this scale using green stuff again. This is not the right way to do this. It's been a learning process, which is what this stream is all about. And I've definitely picked up some technique, maybe a little, in the process of messing with all this green stuff. But in future, when it comes to green stuff, I'm going to use it for smaller details. It's good for patches, like patching models, bridging gaps, I've seen it used effectively in creating textures like sort of grassy looks and furry looks. But it is not clay, and it is not ideal for large-scale construction projects. I likened it last stream to molding with chewing gum. And that's very much how it feels. That this is very imprecise, difficult to work with substance. It's sticky, it's messy, it's hard to mold. It is not my preferred medium. But all of this has been, an important learning experience. I've learned important things about my abilities and about how green stuff works as a tool. Just planning out the bricks that I'm going to mold in here. I want this lower. So yeah, for any future large-scale diorama projects that I do, and I have plans to do more, I'm definitely going to try not to use green stuff as a primary sculpting medium. It's just not well suited for this, and my capability when it comes to molding this stuff is not up to the chore. I will be doing other projects. But I'm going to do them in a different way going forward. The foam, the polyurethane or is it polystyrene, this stuff that I've been using, has turned out great. So I'm definitely going to use that more. I did an experiment. I took a small block of foam to work with me, and there's a bubble in there. Yeah, got it, mostly. I sprayed it with primer to see what the result would be. And as I suspected, and as I have been warned, the primer actually corroded it. I could watch it in real time deforming as the spray-on primer was applied. So, and it's a cool look. I won't deny that. But that's not what I'm going for with this model. So I'm going to I'm probably going to use brush on primer on the foam on this model. In the hope that it will offer some protection. So I made a long digression there to talk about my feelings on using green stuff as a sculpting tool. I'm pretty much committed to it at this point for this model, but I'm definitely not going to use it as a sculpting tool or medium in future projects. And as I mentioned, I want to do something around the lip here, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to carve something out of foam. So I'll go get more foam from my basement. And we're going to carve something out. I've got some fingerprints in the green stuff here that I'm trying to eliminate. Definitely don't want fingerprints in the final product. So that's going to be another step in this whole process, is adding that foam lip, that top to the edge of the fountain. This thing just keeps getting more ambitious the further I go. I don't mind it. It's just time consuming. I knew this was going to be a larger project when I undertook it. Like, I knew this wasn't going to be a one-day build or something that would be done quickly. But even so, it's been a little bit of a slog. So my plan is, I want to finish the primary construction on this today, and then tomorrow, my last day at work before vacation, I'm going to bring this to work and prime it, which means I need to apply some brush-on primer to these guys, the sort of plinths at the corners. Hoping that having some paint on them already will protect them from the corrosive effects of the spray-on primer, which I'm going to be using for the rest of the model. I'm glad I'm not trying to get any sort of precision out of this. I'm getting some interesting shapes, obviously. It has a very organic feel, which is nice. But it is a very rough sculpt. After all this difficulty that I've had with the sculpting and working with green stuff and all of this stuff, it doesn't actually dissuade me from working with green stuff at all. It just makes me want to get more practice. I just want to I want to improve my technique. And that's generally what I'm always trying to do on this stream. Trying to find things that I'm not super good at and improve my abilities. So, at some point, as one of my projects, I'm going to have to mess with, well, that's weird there. Whatever. I'm gonna have to mess with kit bashing. And that'll give me an opportunity to do some interesting green stuff work. Okay, that's 1/3 done. Whew. I have a little bit of a headache today. This may be a shorter stream than normal today. I don't know. Alright. But we're making progress. That's the important thing. Every day, a little more progress. I am curious why my channel is getting so many follows all of a sudden. I mean, it's clearly bots. It's clearly bots. But why the sudden influx of bot followers? It's not like anything has changed dramatically about my channel in the last week or so. Maybe something has changed in Twitch's terms of service or something. It made bots more viable. I don't know. Oh, this stuff is so difficult to work with. Cat poop. Just trying to hold this thing in a delicate manner while I am doing this molding, and my hand keeps sticking to the model. You can see I've got some green stuff on my hand now. Okay. Okay. At this stage, what's keeping me going is primarily stubbornness. I'm like, I've made it this far. It may not look exactly as I envisioned it, but I'm gonna make something. I'm gonna finish this thing. Just to prove to myself I can do it. No project is truly a failure, because you're constantly learning. The lesson is the friends we made along the way. Even if the finished model bears only a passing resemblance to what I had in my imagination when I started out, I have learned a great deal about my abilities and about this as a medium, and that's helpful. smoothing, and then put in the mold in the bricks. I've mentioned this before, but you've probably noticed me dipping my sculpting tool in water as I work. It helps a great deal with working with green stuff. Green stuff is so incredibly tacky, so sticky, that having your sculpting tool wet helps a great deal. My plan is, when it comes to finishing, that I'll find the areas on the outside that are the ugliest areas, where the modeling is worst, where there's fingerprints, where it looks amateurish, and I'm going to cover them up with flocking. Because we've seen how well flocking works to make something look more realistic and interesting, but it can also be used to conceal those mistakes. So we'll get to that next week when we're at that stage. Which will be after we've done. So what I still need to do, obviously I need to prime this whole thing, which means I have to wait for this to cure, so I'm going to wait until tomorrow before I do any priming, but I need to prime the whole thing. And then I need to base coat it, add some other details. I've got some other things that I want to add in to the diorama. We've got a lot of work to do in terms of painting. And then we'll add some flocking, and I'm going to be doing some water effects, so that will all be next week. Painting small details to add to the model, flocking, and water effects. So there's a lot to do on this piece. There's a lot we'll be working on next week to bring it closer to completion. But for the most part, I'm looking forward to it. I'm curious to see what it will look like as it gets closer to done. Like, all of this modeling and stuff, maybe it's not precisely what I envisioned when I started out. That doesn't mean that it doesn't look interesting. I mean, this is going to be a piece with a lot of character. And I think when I get to the modeling stage, to the painting stage, a lot of interesting tweaks will have to be made, and it should result in a very cool feel to it, I hope. Making the top lip to this is going to be a challenge. Like I said, I'm just going to sculpt something out of foam. Alright, 2/3 done with the skinning of the outside. It's not perfect, but it is what it is. Now just this little segment here. And then we'll do a little bit more work on the painting. Going to need just a tad more green stuff. I think I've got 2 more things of green stuff around here somewhere. So I just finished off this package. I also need to find a way to prop this up so that it doesn't stick as much to the surface while it's curing. Okay. Does this bag have green stuff? No. Hang on a moment, chat. I'm gonna mute myself while I go find more green stuff. I'm back. I got it. I knew I had more. I bought quite a lot of green stuff in anticipation of this project. Okay. We don't really need that much more, just a pinch. Okay. Let's finish this. Okay. Fix that later. This little section here. Oh, great. Got a hair in my green stuff. Perfect. That is the last section that needs green stuff. Oh, man. So this area here is the worst looking area on the model, the most bulbous. I had a lot of extra green stuff that I folded over the top during last week's or during Wednesday's stream that ended up going here. So this is the worst looking part of the outside of this thing. It is also what I believe is going to be the front of the model. So that's great. That's fantastic. There's all these fingerprints. I don't know, chat. I am not a sculptor. This is not where my talents lie. What little talent I have. fine. The whole thing is sticking to my hand as I work. I'm gonna have to do some patching. I think I have come up with a solution, though, to how I'm going to allow it to set without sticking to the table. Okay. Hopefully, this right here is the most awkward, ugly stage for this piece. Once I get past this, once I get it primed and can start actually painting it, I can hopefully move past all of this ugliness. And maybe, in the process of painting it, I can make it look less awful. Call attention to the bits I like and try to draw the eye away from the bits that I don't like. Almost there, Chad. Almost done with the green stuff sculpting. Okay. I think that's it for that. Let's patch up these areas that I've sort of mangled. My hands are so sticky. All right. Well, it's far from perfect, but it is, for the most part, done. I have to carve a little bit on these, which I'm going to wait until this is cured and dried a bit before I try that. I think I need... Need just a tiny, tiny bit of green stuff, just a brick's worth to go right there. And I just put my green stuff away. There it is. I saw the other day in one of the modeling groups that I follow what I think was an Onion headline. It might have been some other parody news thing. And the headline was, "Local modeler uses all the green stuff that they had prepared." And it was, I had mixed up some green stuff and was working on a furry loincloth for a figure. And when I was done, I had no green stuff left. I was amused. All right. God damn it. I gotta... every time I put the model down, it's a disaster. And I'm not enjoying all these cat hairs. It's fine. There. Okay, Chad. Okay. Just want to get this out to the edge there, like that. Okay. So I'm going to call the green stuff construction project portion of this model done. I'm not going to add any more green stuff to this. Now, my incredibly clever idea I just came up with for how to let this cure without letting it touch the table, because every time I put it down it sticks to the table and ruins the green stuff. So here's my idea. I'm going to finish my coffee. Gritty. And then I'm going to put this on top of... Actually, maybe I need to invert my coffee mug. There. Perfect. All right. Okay. Chad, I'm going to take a very short break while I go get myself a fresh paper towel. And then I'm going to do a little bit of painting. Not much at all, because I'm really not feeling super well. And then when this is cured, I can get to work on priming it. It's getting there. Very slowly. But it's getting there. Alright. I will be right back, chat. Give me a couple of moments.
It's been a long year. I know you're tired and you're blue. You've been breathing smoke inside this trial of fire, but you got through. And I know the world's gone wrong, but you're still present, you're still strong. Hold on. Through all your pain and all your tears, you're still resolute and you're still here. It's been a long year. It's been so heavy on your soul. And though your scars have hardened and have turned to armor, it took its toll. You're still present, you're still strong. Hold on. Through all your pain and all your tears, you're still resolute and you're still here.
Well, that's awkward. Apparently, my microphone stopped working and my camera stopped working. Zoom cam is still working. Chat, I don't know what's going on today. Okay, hang on. Yeah, you can hear me because I switched microphones. I'm using the camera microphone, which probably sounds a little more echoey. You're probably getting a lot more room noise. I don't know why. Yeah, but I'm frozen on the picture-in-picture cam. Zoom cam is working fine. No problem with Zoom cam. And obviously, the microphone on one of the cameras is working? I don't know. Today is a trial. Okay. You can hear me, right? Alright, well, let's just bloop. There. Everything's fine. Let's get some painting done. No camera painting time. Oh, okay. So, I'm going to paint the back side of Gotrek here. The back sides of these gargoyles. And the back side of this little guy. And we're gonna just play around with some paints. Low stress. Trying to find the right brush to work with. Okay. Gonna use my Citadel small layer brush. We're going to start with Gotrek. So, I did a little more looking at corroded bronze, which is sort of the look that I'm going for him. And the bronze, although it does have a bluish, grayish base, also has brown highlights. So I'm going to have to do that before I get to the corrosion piece. But we're starting with a base layer that's this Necromancer clothes. Very dark blue-gray. And then I think we're going to use some gold and silver to highlight a couple of areas of the model. God, Chad, I can't believe I'm going to be on vacation next week. I really, really need a vacation. It's not that, my job is that difficult. It does get a little stressful when helping multiple people simultaneously and trying to run events while running the register, things like that. But most of the time, my job is fairly straightforward and easy. But it is, it's the grind. And I am pretty worn out. I just need Need some me time. Amanda and I are gonna probably watch Lord of the Rings. Relax. There we go. I'll still be doing some streaming. So I won't be ignoring you folks. It'll be nice not to have to make the commute. I will probably, just as a warning, not log into Facebook for the week that I'm on vacation. I often say, if I didn't have to be on Facebook for my job, I probably would have stopped using it a while back. Not a fan of Facebook. So, during my vacation, I'll probably try to stay away from Facebook. Just to detox a little bit. I enjoy Gotrek's Mohawk, but it's a pain to paint. Well, you can't hear the music anymore. That's interesting. No reason for that to have happened when all I did was change the camera. I think today is a day when I should have just stayed in bed. But that's fine. When I'm done here, I can go take a little nap before I have to go to work. Okay, I think he is now all gray. Let's work on adding some other colors to him. So my concept is that the sculptor who made this model, this statue that is going to be standing in this fountain, used some other metals in other places. So primarily he's going to be bronze. But I'm going to add some highlights. I think these on his beard, these little rings on his beard, this through. If I do it in one area, I have to do it in several. So I want to think about how I'm going to do this. I think we'll do the rings on his beard, his cuffs and chains, and this ring and chain all as if they're a sort of silver. So let's put him down for a sec. I'm not actually going to use silver because I'm trying for a non-metallic metal look. Because I need to practice that. So we're going to go with a off-white. I'm going to go with my favorite good old deck tan. No, that's too bright. You're just a light gray. I use Stonewall Gray. There we go. Necessarily the brush for this job. There we go. Oh, put some on his axe that I didn't mean to do. Hearing one of Clara's toys out in the apartment. I don't know if it's Amanda moving it or if Clara is playing with it. As always, I find this very relaxing to do a little bit of detail work. Okay. Get this chain on the inside here. There. And then his wrist. This is so much more relaxing than working with that green stuff was. Important lessons in life. Don't sculpt large things in green stuff. Okay. Now, is non-metallic metal work? I know the theory is high contrast, strong shadows and highlights. So now let's bring out deck tan. Okay. Okay, I think that's presenting some contrast. Now we need some shadows. Somber gray for the shadows. sure if that's working. I don't think I have quite mastered non-metallic metal yet. We'll keep working on it, chat. We'll see what works and what doesn't. Let's bring in some brighter whites. And then we'll work on the bronze. Very delicately with the brightest white. It's getting there. Don't hate it. Yeah. Not sure it's working exactly the way I envisioned it. But it's got something going on. Okay. Let's do some browns on it. What is sort of a light brown? I'm going to try and dry brush this in a little. Because we're going for a bronzy look. And we'll add the corrosion in as a future layer. Oh, thank you for the follow. Manola Meow. Welcome, welcome. I'm not usually this quiet, but I'm having microphone troubles today. So, just a quiet painting stream. So what I'm trying to achieve here is a bronzy look, as this is intended to be a bronze statue. So we're dry brushing in a little heavily a light brown, and then I'm going to go in and add a few little shiny highlights. And we're going to be adding some corrosion to him as well. A little bit overdoing it, but that's fine. Paint dries on the brush before I get it on the model. Okay. Not sure that completely works, but sort of gives the impression I was going for. Whatever. Might do a brown wash on him to see if that helps. Man, it's noon already. I got totally absorbed in painting him. Let's give him a quick brown wash, and then we can work on corrosion on him during my next stream. I'll use Agrax Earthshade. I will be back probably on Sunday to do a little more work on these folks and to start work on the fountain itself. So as usual, thank you friends for joining me. Oh yeah, that's helping. It's always a pleasure to have folks hanging out with me while I paint. And I'm doing some cool stuff that I've never done before, and that definitely means I appreciate all the input and company I can get. I'm going to take a few minutes to myself before I have to go to work. But I made some progress today. The modeling is frustrating, but that's fine. Like I always say, I've learned some lessons. And that's what this stream is all about, is discovering my limits and learning lessons and expanding my abilities. I feel like I'm beginning to achieve somewhat the look that I was hoping for in this model, and we'll get it even more as we add some more detail to it. It certainly looks a lot less bland than it did. Right? It was kind of disappointing when it was just a monochrome gray. But now it's beginning to have some life. And when we get to the patina, that's really going to give it something, make it pop.
Cool. Well, progress. Thank you for joining me, folks. I hope everybody has a wonderful Friday afternoon. My wife Amanda over at twitch.tv/merrimanlion will be streaming some more reading aloud at 10 p.m. tonight. She'll be continuing to read from Wise Child, which I'm really enjoying. And hopefully on Saturday I'll get an opportunity to take this, the fountain model, and prime it so that we can start painting that next week. So I would normally switch cameras to tell you all my traditional farewell, but my camera apparently is not working. I'll fix that before my next stream. In the meantime, everybody, be excellent to each other and enjoy whatever art it is you choose to do. I will see you probably on Sunday. Have a great day.